Good evening, televiewers. It's 7 p.m. by our studio clock. You're welcome to the Monday, the first edition for this week. It is the 7 p.m. English newscast on DBS television, and we are live as usual from the economic capital of the country, Douala. My name is Gienda Peldrin Blanche. We begin today's edition right away with our first article on the agenda, talking about the holidays, which is about to come to an end, of course, as students gather to gear up or prepare for the start of the new academic year. We're going through the holiday season while others were busy with extracurricular activities. Others were busy following up classes to prepare harder against the next term. Some parents, however, believe that it is important for their kids to follow up these classes so as to better prepare them for the next level or the next academic year, while others believe that holidays should be reserved or seen as a time to rest. Our student journalist on internship, Bemo Ashley, had time to speak to some parents and have their views about holiday classes during these holiday periods where students are expected to rest and prepare hard against the next academic year. She compiled the viewpoints of these parents in the following report.
Long-term holidays is something that students look forward to, as it gives them ample time to decompress from chaotic school schedules and encourage rest. Even parents enjoy the brief respite, getting a break from waking up early and preparing school meals. However, holiday classes, a practice which has lingered from time immemorial, has brought contention among parents. This parent emphasizes on its importance.
Some children, in their way, they need to pick up. And then for holiday classes, you make them, they catch up for that time, without 1 month. And for some children, the way they just change their school. So for the school where they go, for that holiday classes, it make them not pick up now for the main time where the school will want start. They're not going to be new.
This, however, does not hold for others who completely debunk the idea of vacation classes. To this guidance, the 3 months meant for holidays is a time for rest and change of atmosphere, not for classes, given that the first month at school resumption is used for the students' reawakening. Amidst the contentions, acquiring skills is vital for others.
It's not right to take 3 months to ask a child to do holiday classes because you have studied for close to 9 months. So it's not normal. So we allow the child to do other things in order to learn creativity. You understand what I'm trying to say? Meaning that the child to try to do other things with his hands so that he can be able to, apart from school, there are other things that you can do. School is not the only way that people can survive.
Note, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, bans holiday classes on August 14, 2022, primarily because of COVID-19 pandemic and equally in a bid to permit students rest properly. Whatever choice is made, the goal is to enjoy the holiday break.
Former governor and board chair of Sodikoton, Gambo Haman, has been given last homage in Yaoundé, central region of the country. A delegation from Baba Group, led by CEO Al-Haj Baba Dampulo, met with family members of the deceased over the weekend to pray and commit the soul of the retired civil administrator into the hands of Allah. Details compiled by our Central Regional Correspondent, Atebunavenjo.
A community of Muslims, friends and well-wishers gathered to pay homage to Gambo Haman, who had served his country diligently as a civil administrator and administrative director at Nextel Cameroon before his retirement. Amongst those to console the bereaved is the CEO of Baba Group, El-Haj Amadou Baba Dampulo, and other dignitaries. Special prayers were made for the faithful repose of the soul of the deceased.
اللهم صل على محمد ما ذكره الشاكرون الأبرار وصل على محمد ما تعاقب الليل والنهار وصل على محمد وعلى المهاجرين والأنصار وصلوات الله وسلامه على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد النبي الأمي وآخر دعوانا عن الحمد لله.
Gambo was born on October 10, 1957. As administrator, He maintained proximity with his constituents in each locality, which enabled him to be aware on a daily basis of the various problems generally managed by the administrative authority. He was part of the 21st promotion of the National Advanced School of Administration and Magistracy (ENAM) and holder of the Medal of the National Order of Valor. As governor of the North region, the latter also occupied in a statutory manner the position of chairman of the board of directors of the Cotton Development Company, Sode Cotton.
Councillors of the Douala City Council have been meeting together with administrators to evaluate the midterm session of budget. According to reports, so far almost all projects earmarked for realization have been met with satisfactory reports. Mangavinash's report.
As of 30th of June 2022, the current financial year rounded up the first semester, and per the law, decentralized territorial collectivities had to carry out the mid-term evaluation of the execution of the budget. That was the case with the Douala City Council, where councillors and City Council executive, together with the administrators, came together Friday, July 29th, 2022 for the exercise. With a working budget of over 61 billion francs CFA, as of this period, the Douala City Council is on a good footing.
We are coming from the midterm session. The session was aimed to evaluate, make evaluation, assessment of budget. And what we can say that is that we have improved our revenues and we are doing well with the expenditures.
Notwithstanding, the council is tied up with the process of awarding contracts. It was revealed that this year's bids were started late. What is being executed now is much of 2021. The city mayor, Roger Mbasandini, acknowledged that they are working to catch up. For the remaining half of the year, the city council is bent on a number of priority projects.
The future is about mobility. The future is about roads. The future is about floods. We have to fight against floods, and that is what we are going to do. That's the main action we are trying to do.
Besides, Roger Mbasandini and his team will be working on public lighting, fluid traffic flow within the city, and concentrating on giving Douala City dwellers an improved living standard with the Douala Green City project, where over 10,000 trees are being earmarked to be planted.
Swiss Embassy in Cameroon just celebrated the country's 173rd National Day. The celebration was marked by the reading of the message of the President of Swiss Confederation, Ignacio Cassis, and a love feast, of course, to remind individuals about the relationship existing between both nations. Ate Bonaventure.
Execution of the Swiss national anthem by nationals alongside friends on the occasion of the Swiss National Day at the Swiss Embassy in Yaoundé. The special ceremony was marked by the reading of the message of the President of the Swiss Confederation, exchanges and B2B encounters. Present in the event were representatives of Baba Group who came with a consignment of gifts, including the famous illustrious Ndawara Highland tea. The Swiss culinary savoir-faire was on display with a variety of specialities, including the special cake. All this accompanied by a musical performance that kept everyone on his or her feet. On a day like this in Switzerland, locals gather in the streets waving flags that represent communities and cantons. Historically, in 1291, the three forest cantons of Uri, Swagis, and Utawaden signed the federal charter and unified in the struggle against the Habsburg rule.
6 years since the escalation of the Anglophone crisis, individuals have been fleeing the two restive regions of the country, seeking refuge in other parts of the country or fleeing parts hardly hit by the crisis to other parts of the country or region considered safer. Some internally displaced persons who have fled the crisis-hit regions to other parts have received formation from the Michelin Ewang Foundation. The foundation, launched recently in Cameroon, has as a main goal to improve the living conditions of the vulnerable people through creative and local arts. Details compiled in the following report. Michelin Ewang Foundation has launched a program aimed at equipping Cameroonians with sustainable life and changing skills to alleviate poverty, empowering IDPs through trainings, healing through arts and education to change mindsets. And the conference, organized by the organization over the weekend, trained individuals and participants were drilled on the production of body lotion and detergent. It was also an opportunity to officially launch the foundation in Cameroon. Michelin Ewang Foundation has as objective to educate and sensitize individuals and the general public on the use of natural and human resources at their disposal to improve their living conditions and alleviate poverty, aimed at grooming and taking care of orphans, pregnant women, and less privileged children across Africa. Words of appreciation from trainees who left with sound minds.
Really, in fact, I have received a lot of knowledge, which I think will not only empower me, will not only empower my Christians, but will empower the entire community, and even the knowledge will be taken back home to train women, so that they too should be empowered. So I'm so happy, and I say thank you to Michelin Ewang, and the foundation has come to stay, and it is going to last.
The foundation is driven by the spirit of love for humanity and desire to protect and preserve lives within the scope of laws and charters that governs associations and non-governmental organizations. The International Monetary Fund has concluded the second review of agreement with Cameroon under the Standard Fund facility. The approval of this second review enables the disbursement of about 46.8 billion francs CFA for the country's developmental projects. Ate Bonaventure completes the story in the following report.
This new financing brings to $346.1 million US, just over 222.2 billion CFA francs, the volume of disbursements already made by the IMF since the 3-year program was concluded on July 29, 2021. The institution, however, deplores that the overall program performance is mixed with delayed structural reforms in some key areas. Cameroon's performance under the program remains on track, and structural reforms are advancing with delays in some key areas. The authorities are committed to achieving the program's objectives and accelerating the pace of reform implementation to support private sector-led economic diversification. The acceleration of the reforms under the IMF-led program, particularly in the areas of transparency, good governance, and the fight against corruption, is essential to promote growth and help catalyze additional donor financing. According to the Cameroon government's forecast, the current economic program could generate up to 1,000 billion CFA francs for the public treasury. This program highlights a financing gap of around 1,000 billion CFA francs for the period of 2021 to 2024, of which IMF's contribution is around 375 billion CFA francs.
The Women Association of Coffee Producers in Fumban recently held a meeting to discuss ways possible to transform their produce into a business through large-scale production. The meeting took place in the presence of international partners who seized the opportunity to discuss and school them on the cluster method approach. Nde Vanessa Shio.
Members of the Cameroon Women's Association of Coffee AFEC wants to transform their activities into a business. It is the outcome of a strategic meeting held on July 30, 2022 in Fumban. Under the coordination of its president, Honorable Hermine Patricia Tomano Damjoya, it was a question of redeploying a new paradigm where women of the association are called upon to get into the coffee business, thereby selling their produce. For this to happen, they are being supervised, followed up through some practical trainings to enable a qualitative and quantitative production of coffee seeds. It was also a meeting to carry out an evaluation meeting of the activities, having a special guest and partner, Hilary Barry, of Lady Agri and advisor at the International Trade Center, who talked about cluster approach, the process whereby they are regrouping the different chain of women in the production chain of coffee, integrated producers to jig, cooperatives, unions, coffee roasters, and exploiters. It is linking the women between themselves in the chain so that they will be able to transform quality coffee to the market and sell at the right prices, thereby ensuring buyers. It is therefore a new challenge for AFEC to meet up with the international standard. Its members will have to reorganize themselves at the base according to the new program presented by an international professional organization for coffee, CICC, funded by the European Union.
You're still watching for 7 p.m. English newscast on DBS television. The Muslim community in Gaoundéré, Adamawa, have a call to remember at all times the importance of adoration. The conference, organized by the Cameroon Development Foundation, enlightened the faithfuls, giving room for a mutual beneficial society. Ekokobere Mikaro has more.
The Cameroon Development Foundation, CAMDEF, recently organized the conference with the Muslim community in Gaoundéré. Facing the participants, the regional president of the CAMDEF, Sheikh Mohammed Ali, enlightened the faithfuls on the impact of adoring God in life on earth and beyond, for he is the protector of mankind. The religious activity, which is part of CAMDEF's annual schedule, was spread to other localities in the North region. All participants were reminded that Islam is a religion of peace and were invited to cultivate the habit of living together.
It's time for our Discovery page, and of course on today's Discovery we talk about culture focused on the Jagam ethnic group in Bayangi tribe, southwest region of Cameroon. The Monikim dance is a typical traditional dance of the Jagam people, performed after circumcision and seclusion. It is the welcome dance into womanhood. Enjoy.
Hey!
Initially, the Moninkim dance was performed only by virgins and considered the dance that welcomes women into womanhood. But nowadays, it is performed also for the purpose of entertainment. Take note that the Jagam tribe also exists in southeast Nigeria as the Ekoi tribe or Ekoi people. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you had fun with our choice of discovery today. See you tomorrow, God willing, at 7 p.m. Cameroon time for another edition of the news on DBS television. I'm Genda Pelton Blanche King. Keep watching DBS at 8 p.m. You have developments of this and more in the French language. Happy viewing and good night.